letting the parent know that the student qualified for gifted talented services, and they have to give permission that the child can be placed in the program. And so I don't work with the child or put any information in Infinite Campus until I see, you know, that they want this. I have to have a signature, and then the child is placed. And this form is in there too. Okay, there is documentation kept on each student in the Gifted Talented program, and this is for grades 4 through 12. All the evidence that was gathered for them to qualify is in their folder, as well as progress reports that are sent home, the parental permission, their GSSPs.
Okay, what's the GSSP?
Let me show you.
Okay.
That's next. Every gifted student has a service plan, and GSSP is just short for Gifted Student Service Plan.
Like an IEP.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Once a year, I meet with the teacher of the student in whatever area or areas they're gifted in, and we look at different ways that they can differentiate to ensure the continuous growth of that student in that area. And these are mailed home, and this is done yearly. And there is progress monitoring, and that is in your folder as well. This is for grades 4 through 12. Again, I meet with the teacher, and this is done once each semester for every student in grades 4 through 12 that's in the gifted program. And the teacher sends home a report as to whether the student is exceeding expectations, meeting them, or if they're needing improvement in their area of giftedness. And if they need improvement, then they tell the parent why. And these are mailed home. And this is once each semester, so twice a school year they get this. Okay, primary talent pool, which is part of the gifted program, but they are not formally identified. The primary talent pool is for students in grades K through 3. The reason we have a primary talent pool is we're looking for high potential learners. They're showing signs that they are above and beyond where they should be. And the reason for putting them in the primary talent pool is to provide early enrichment for these students. There is no formal, I mean, you can do formal testing, but there is no formal testing that's needed for the primary talent pool. They still have to have 3 pieces of evidence to show that they are showing that potential to be a high learner. And once they leave 3rd grade, they're finished, they're out of the primary talent pool, and they are not automatically guaranteed to be in the gifted program, because once they enter 4th grade, then they have to be formally identified to qualify for gifted talent.
That's the integrated primary.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and the primary talent pool is nothing formal.
No.
It's just an informal setting for them. Okay, to learn and grow. Gifted learners are not test scores. They are not perfect. They are not easier to teach. They are kids with different learning needs who will give up if they are not challenged, who rarely get a place in educational laws, who sometimes give up and drop out of school, who are waiting for change, who now sit hoping, wishing to learn, to grow, to think, to climb out of the box, to change the world, to get something different, not because they are privileged, elite, or want better, but because they want the one thing that every kid in every school in the world deserves, to learn and grow. And that is it on my report on gifted education in our school system. Any questions?
Yeah, I think I really like that, because there's a guy I worked with in the mines who, when I was shocked to find out, he told me once he quit school in 11th grade.
Yeah.
The smartest guys I've ever known. I mean, just a very, very highly intelligent guy. And I asked him, why? He was bored.
Yeah.
This guy could do anything. I mean, this guy was just a super smart guy. He was he was a mechanic, but he was also a fine musician.
Right.
And also just very, just gifted in so many areas. And he quit in the 11th grade, quit high school in the 11th grade.
Don't want
And when
to
he
lose
told me
it.
that, I said, you gotta be kidding. No, I'm not kidding. I quit in the 11th grade. My goodness.
I got it, which I like to state. Of course, last time we met, you of course stopped to the Eden Elementary, which I had some questions about the gifted and talented, which that was one of my constituents, was one of their interests, was gifted and talented. And I want you to know, and I was not on a witch hunt, which I think it came across, or somebody assumed that I was on a witch hunt. Well, that's not so. When I assume, and you've always been labeled as one of the best teachers in the county. You've always been labeled that, and I assume that's one reason you're in the position. But, to get the program, and I don't think one person can do it. I just don't think the way that we need to do it. That's my opinion, when you've got elementary, you've got middle school, and you've got high school. I want to know, like I say, I offend the people. Matter of fact, I'm very good at offending people. So I went to the ATC competition and, of course, wore my cap and offended someone there. So, but that's just my style. But I can just show up and offend people, seems like. But does the board encourage and support you, like in attending GTE conferences and training sessions? Or have they been
They have actually been very supportive. I did not ask to go to the last conference on my own because we had missed so much school. And I felt like there were so many things that I just needed to do here that I didn't ask to go. But normally they have been very supportive. Each school has actually
to do that. Yes, support.
That would be great because I do learn a lot when I go to those.
This is one of my, when I ran for board member, this was one of the things that, and like I said, and I don't think, are you also the coordinator?
Well, I think so. Not like anything has been told to me officially, but I do the paperwork, so I would kind of assume.
Is she designated as coordinator? Do we have a?
There are several stipend slots on our salary schedule that have to be realigned.
I mean,
but in this case, I'll share with you some
but she should
discussions that I've
be
had.
because you're GT endorsed. If we got somebody that's not GT endorsed, then, which they're going to monitor next year, which I'm told as far as the gifted and talented, much stronger, much in detail. But that's one question I had. As far as again, I think I've heard a lot of compliments, commend you on but again, I don't think one person's going to handle it. And is there any grants? As far as grant money, do we get with GTE?
There is an amount of money that's allotted, and I don't think it's a whole lot of money, and I'm not even sure that it pays the salary. I doubt it.
I don't think it can really catch it.
So that's something that our previous we need to look at. Our previous grant writer didn't seem to. But I guess we don't, as a board, we don't have a policy. GTE, we don't have a policy, do we? I mean, if we go on our website and look up our policy on GTE, there's not one. So is that, we as a board, is that something that we need to do?
Well, I would not advocate creating policies and things that we do already, especially if we're doing what's required by law, but doing things that we know to be right is what we should be doing, and not creating policies for those things. And I believe going forward that, rather than the board making a requirement for some framework for gifted and talented, I think Sheila's done very well. The key to this is that one person can't do K-12 gifted and talented. That's the whole key.
I'm trying to get you.
So you don't need it.
I want to. It doesn't matter if it's special education. It doesn't matter if it's athlete. I want it better for our
But
kids.
Sheila and I have talked about going forward and what would be most beneficial for our district and for our kids.